So today we're actually going to be talking about essentially how you have misbehaved children within these schools, and the parents just like, well, what am I supposed to do about it? You got Ray, Pukisha, Miss Allison, Mr. Dante, all up in the school, wreaking havoc. It's just too much. Okay, you got people hitting teachers, throwing tantrums, just doing too much, and they can't read on top of it. No critical analyzing skills or anything, no critical thinking. Y'all don't know anything. Y'all can barely read. I just got done watching I guess it's just a news piece that they had, news story, where essentially it was people in Georgia. Chad, these kids, you're talking about 14-year-olds reading at like a third grade, second grade reading level. You're talking about a third of students can't read at their proper reading level. You're talking about people who just it's completely illiterate. The school to prison pipeline, which we know is a real thing, that kind of stuff happening. Then because they don't know anything, they can't think critically, they go to prison. Okay, they go to jail, they commit crime, and they go and blame the man. There's a lot. Essentially, you had a variety of things, but one of the main things was you had teachers being taught to not teach how to read properly. So instead of sounding out an expo for markers, expo markers, instead of sounding out expo like expo, they're just like, well, you're just supposed to know it. The kid tries, I don't know, no, it's expo, okay? And then the kid doesn't learn it. Shocker, okay? So you've seen a lot of this. So you have some of the stuff that's stemming from that, but you're also having some of it where you're just not, the kids are not learning at home. You have a lot of the kids who just think that it's okay to know every lyric of Sexy Red's Booty Hole Brown or whatever that song is, or Ski and all that. But you don't know how to read. You know how to do all this other stuff. You know how to dance, you could twerk, you get on TikTok, you go on Instagram, you go and take pictures on Snapchat, you could do all this other stuff. But you can't read a book. You can't think critically. You don't know what manners are. Interesting how that works. I tell you, use an inside voice. You said, what's that? And let's go and read some Dr. Seuss. Who's the doctor? What did he study? So you're having a lot of this where the kids just, they don't know. They also have no drive to better themselves and want to improve. And there's really no set boundaries and no set expectations either for them. Hey, let's go and learn a little bit of Spanish. No, I ain't doing that. Because I know for me, I couldn't do that with my mom. What you say? Okay, and we're gonna be saying, "Mi habla español." Okay, so, but at the end of the day, there's a lot to unpack. I have a few videos that I do want to look at, and let's just see what other people have to say about this said situation.
I'ma say it because it ain't enough people saying it. Some of y'all send them kids to school because you just need a break from their ass, but you don't worry about the hell that they're causing these teachers. You taught them kids how to cuss, twerk, and talk back, but you forgot to teach them how to sit down, shut up, and listen. Some of these kids know every TikTok dance there is, but don't know how to raise their hand before they speak. And then when the teacher reaches out to the parent to try to get some assistance for this mini menace, you got to issue and make every excuse in the book for why your child is acting up. That's not ADHD, ma'am. That's ain't no damn home training. I seen a motherfucking kid tell a teacher, my mama said you can't tell me what to do. Shit, she can't tell you what to do, and that's the fucking problem. Can you imagine being a teacher, and before you can even teach academics, you got to teach basic manners to these unruly ass children, and then you have to deal with a parent who gets offensive about you telling them about their child. Ma'am, your daughter is not expressive. She's just disrespectful, okay? So please, just try to give a little bit more consideration to these teachers and support them when they need it. Remember that these are your kids, not theirs. So for them to make it their job to try to teach your child some shit, they should not have to go through none of the bullshit. Me personally, I couldn't be nobody's teacher because one, I don't have to, and I'm flipping the fucking desk before they can finish their sentence. You sure the fuck don't have to, and I don't either.
We should be ashamed. But this is a country where we don't pay the teachers, and then we say the kids is the most important thing. You can't have both of them. If you do that, we're going to end up with a generation that can't read. Guess what? Generation Z and A can't read. Why? Because who was giving them a book? We got an iPad or a phone, and now the letters don't mean there's no cursive writing.
Right.
Sorry about that. So, yeah, this is what period of time it's in. It's the period where the victims get to say, they've been hurting me for a long time. And I just ain't said nothing because I was trying to be strong and I didn't want to shame anybody.
You gotta take the glasses off for this. I held off making this video because I know how y'all like to tussle, but I ain't never been afraid of no tussle and I ain't never lost no tussle. So, parents, this is for the parents. I feel like parents are not parenting anymore. The parenting is not hitting like it used to. Back in my day, and I'm only 27, so this is crazy for me to say. Back in my day, you called a parent to the school, they came up here and they got their child together. Or you didn't even have to call the parent. You threatened to call the parent and the child, no, oh, I don't want that, let me shape up. No, we were not perfect. By any means, we were not perfect. But the things that these kids are doing now, tearing up classrooms, cussing teachers out, putting their hands on teachers. And then you call the parent and they say, don't do it again or you're going to lose tablet time. Excuse me? You pinky promise you're going to have a good day at school today? Do you pinky promise? I call you up here because your child done destroyed my class, completely destroyed my room. You come up here and you give him a hug and you say, I thought you said you wasn't going to do this today. Remember, we supposed to be getting McDonald's after school. I thought, don't you want your toy from McDonald's? Don't you want to get on your tablet? Excuse me? That's still on the table? One time a little girl destroyed my room just acting crazy. Her mom come in and the little girl laughs in her face and her mom says, it's not funny. It's not funny. You think this is cute. It's not funny. She laughed in your face. And I know whoopings are not for everybody. I'm not saying beat your child. I'm not saying you have to whoop your child if that's not what you want to do. But you have to do something. There has to be an alternative plan. And nowadays, you call a parent about their child and what their child done. The parent cuss you out and ask you what you did to their child. And I don't want to say it's because the parents are young, because I have friends who are amazing mothers and they're young mothers. I don't know what the issue is. Parents, y'all got to do better. I don't have no kids. And when I do have kids, I'm not letting them run all over me and run amok at school. They call me every day. They want always under, ain't that their job? No, it's not. No, it is not. That is your job as a parent. We're here to assist, but we are not here to parent y'all children. Yes, we help y'all, but that comes from home. That starts at home. Y'all got to do better. And y'all can get mad all y'all want to. Don't tussle with me, because I know how to.
I'm sorry. I know I'm going to have y'all gentle moms and y'all gentle motherfuckers and everybody talking shit to me about what I'm about to say, but I am so sick, of people not parenting. If you're going to take your child out in public, have them act like a human being. I understand children can be unpredictable and whiny and crying. I'm not saying things like that, but even though that's fucking annoying as shit, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when you have a full-on 6, 7, 8-year-old and you're in a line, say at a UPS or someplace like that, or someplace quiet, you're in line with other people doing business, and you bring your child in there with their iPad and their iPad is on full blast, and you're telling your kid, turn it down for a little bit, and they're going, and you're just letting it happen, and people are looking around it's so fucking loud that it is disturbing business. Because it's dun 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 dun, cow, chicken, cow, and I know I sound like an asshole, but I don't care. If you don't know how to parent, don't take your fucking kids out in public. Period. I'm a mom of 3. So I'm speaking from experience, and I am speaking I'm not just speaking as this childless person, but even if I was a childless person, because people who decide to be childless get a bad fucking rep. Stop making it so that the world has to revolve around you and your kid. That's not how it works. Obviously, there are certain things, certain places, the grocery store, the grocery stores belong to moms. Mom's got to do what mom's got to do. So I get it. But it's places of business, places where, it's going to take you a couple of minutes to talk to someone, or other people are having business conversation. And then then take them the fuck outside and let them know who the fuck is boss. I am just so sick of the non-parenting. Y'all gentle parenting ass motherfuckers is the reason why we have fucking kids that think that they can slap their moms in the fucking face and run shit. No. Call me old school, call me rigid, talk shit about me as a person. I don't care. One thing is for damn sure. I'm the one sitting here raising you, feeding you, clothing you, bathing you, and yes, one can say those are the basic necessities. The fact that you take that on your child, it's not about taking it out on your child. Obviously, it's the basic necessities, but you're gonna give me the basic respect as a fucking child to their parent. The fuck? Like, if you cannot control your kid in public, don't bring him out in public, period.
You know, I don't know how many of y'all are going to have a testimony of this, but you can raise your kids your whole life and they turn on you. You can raise your kids your whole life and do everything for them, love them, take care of them, and your kids can turn around and act like they don't even love you, even care about you. You know, it's the craziest thing. It's like this day and age, you know, the Bible did say in the last days that, mothers will be against daughters, and daughters against mothers, and families against each other. And, you know, we don't even have what's really called a family now these days. I mean, you do have some, but it's very, very few. You got kids now who even kill their parents. And, you know, you can go on the news on YouTube and find it anywhere. Kids are way different than they were, you know, but you can take care of your kids. And I got the same testimony, you know, for one of mine. Took care of my kid, gave my kid everything, love, everything. And your kids can turn on you and treat you like like you haven't even been in their life. You know, I've seen kids cussing their parents out. I mean, I've seen kids treating their parents and their grandparents in ways that, I mean, even this girl I used to date, you know, I mean, I would hear how she would talk to her mother. I mean, and it's just like how do you talk to your parent like that? How do you treat your parent like that? And I know it's hard sometimes if your parent has been abusive to you or something like that. But a lot of these kids' parents ain't even been abusive. A lot of these kids just evil. And I'm just gonna be for real. We can sit and play all day long that all kids are good kids. No, some of these kids are downright. Why do you think they got these juvenile centers and these mental hospitals for little kids, and you got kids young going to prison and stuff like that? These kids are not the same kind of kids as when I was a kid. These kids don't respect their parents and respect adults the way that it was when I was a kid. You know, I would go out and do all kind of stuff, man, you know, in the street and stuff like that. But when it came to adults, we had a different kind of respect for adults and for our parents and stuff like that. Kids right now don't give up. You know what I'm going to say? They don't care. And it's not all kids. If you got a kid, man, or kids that are good kids and are kids that don't give you no problems, that's great, because there are kids like that. But on the flip side, some of these kids you got to put out. Some of y'all won't even put your kids out and they're abusing y'all. I ain't talking about physical abuse. Some of y'all are being abused by your kids verbally, emotionally, mentally, and you're allowing your children to abuse you. It ain't that much love in the world for me to allow any of my kids to abuse me. And I love all of my kids dearly, but if you're not going to respect me and talk to me right, you can get out. And I mean that.
A kid's behavior at school is a direct reflection of their parenting, of the way that they've been raised, of the values and morals that their family is instilling in them. I 100% believe that. And if your child is behaving opposite of what you are trying to instill in them, that still you need to look deeper and you need to figure out why. Why are they rebelling against you? Why are they trying to make you appear as though you're a poor parent? Kid can't act right, it's probably how they're being raised. Your kid cusses, it's how they're being raised. Your kid hits, it's how they're being raised. Your kid don't do work, it's how they're being raised. It's those values that you as a parent are instilling in your children. It's those values that reflect in their behavior. And you could be a great parent with crappy kids, because we've seen that. But something was still lacking then. Something. You need to dig deep, get yourself therapy, get your kids therapy, and figure it out. Because poor parenting creates poor students.
As a parent of two kids who went through the public school system, I just want to ask that every parent sign a paper that says we have the right to videotape your kid acting like assholes in the middle of class, to show you just how much they really give people crap. It's just damn. Just damn. Everybody ought to be taped in class, man. Everybody. The teacher, the students, everybody. And then it ought, the parents ought to review that stuff on a daily basis. Just so they can discipline their kids at home. Because there's no discipline at school. Discipline your kids at home. See how bad they act. Ask the teacher. They'll tell you.
We know that the reason why black cities, black schools in black cities are failing is because it's systemic. We are not allowed to control our own education. We have not, as a community, and I put this on us, as a community, we have not come together to create, fund, and maintain our own institutions. So we are stuck with these scraps. And at this point, it's not even scraps. You can no longer kick this can down the road. We are officially at the end of the road.
Look here. Parents that have a lot of chaos, drama, problems, fighting, folk running in and out, all that kind of carrying on, come to the front. Parents that have a boyfriend living in your house amongst your children, and you work and you leave your children with him, come to the front. Parents that have the opposite, a girlfriend that you got living with you, along with you and your children, and you leave them with her, thinking that she's all right and she's doing all right and she's this and she's that, you come to the front. Parents that are physically, emotionally, and mentally abusing your children, come to the front. Parents that are running up and down the street, doing any and everything you think you big and bad enough to do besides watching your children, come to the front. And last, parents who are racist, bigots, and cause all kinds of problems. You might even be a member of the Nazi Party. You might be even be a member of Project 2025. Whatever your situation is, you definitely come to the front. Look here. Let me tell you something. Your children mad. See, and they mad with you. Huh? See, your children going to school and all the anger and all the hatred that they have towards you is spilling over on the good kids. Huh? Your children are bullies. They coming to school, they fighting, they cussing, they doing drugs in the bathroom, they doing everything they think they big and bad enough to do besides sit down and do their work in class and behave themselves. They ain't nothing but problems, chaos, drama, and bullies. Their little asses, listen, let me tell you something. Really what you need to do is homeschool them. But since you won't, and since you sending them to school to be everybody else's problems, see, because you got a problem, see, because you need help, see, because you need therapy, and see, your mess done spilled over on them. And now that your mess done spilled over on them, they bringing their little asses to school and spilling their mess, which is your mess, onto our children. You know, the good kids, the kids that want to do their work, the kids that want to go somewhere in life, the kids that's gonna be doctors, lawyers, congressmen, maybe even the president, politicians, creating stuff, business owners, all those children, the good kids. I ain't say perfect. I didn't say perfect. I said the good kids, the kids that want to do something in life. They do something. They ain't perfect. They do what they do when they do it. But at the end of the day, when the teacher say, come to my desk, they get up and come to her desk. When the teacher say, be quiet, they be quiet. I ain't saying they don't talk again. I'm saying they be quiet. They don't talk back. They're not disrespectful to the teacher, to the principal, to the janitor even. They're not disrespectful to any adult forum in their school. Because, see, they got this thing that you don't know nothing about, or that you at least are not teaching, and it's called manners. See, you are sending your badass kids to school. And your badass kids are coming to school and spilling over on the children that's doing all right, that's decent, that want something out of life. See, your badass kids want to fight. They want to cause problems. They want to cause chaos. See, and they want to cause all of that because they mad at you. Huh? You understand me? They angry. In fact, they mad as hell. You know why? Because you're not paying them any attention. You're not giving them any attention. You're not even telling the poor children I love you every day. You ain't doing nothing. See, when mine was coming up, I used to do emergency book bag checks, baby. Emergency book bag checks. Don't delay. Come on down here and let me check those book bags. Now, I know that ain't going on today. I know that's not going on today. Maybe you need to do emergency cell phone checks. I don't know what you need to do, but I do know this. You need to keep your badass kids at home so that they won't be spilling over on the good kids, messing up everybody else. See? Huh? You understand me? And listen, let me tell you something. When my kids were coming up, another story. See, I told them, you better not ever get put out of school, all three. You better not ever get put out of school. I'm telling you that. See, because I never missed. You understand me? Yep, I'm bragging. I never missed a parent-teacher conference for any of the three of my children. I stayed in connection with the teachers, and I ain't believe everything they said when they came home complaining about the teacher either. Her breath stink, this, that, and the other, and that, this, and that. I ain't believe that mess. And I told them, I said, let me tell you something. Get put out of school if you want. See, if you get put out of school, you're going over Miss Macy's house. You're going to Mr. John's house. You're going to somebody's elderly in the neighborhood's house, and you working. You won't lay around here. You won't lay, listen, you being put out of school ain't no vacation. It ain't a vacation for you, and it ain't a vacation for me. You will not lay around my house and get put out of school. Y'all need to stop sending your badass kids to school, your bullying kids to school, where they spilling over on other children that want something out of life. See, and I feel sorry for them. I do. But all I can tell you is they are a problem. They are a problem. And you don't care that they're a problem because you doing everything you think you big and bad enough to do, but not paying attention to them. Won't even talk to the children. Won't even listen to the children. They trying to get your attention. That's why they're bad as hell in school. Because they want your attention. They need your time. They need to talk to you. They need to hear I love you. But see, because you're not good, they not good. I used to tell my children, let me tell you something. Don't you go to school playing with picking on them children. You hear me? Because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors of these other children. You don't know what these children going through. Leave those children alone. You got children out here now, they are so angry. They so mad. They mad as hell at y'all because y'all not listening to them. They mad as hell at y'all. Then they bringing their high passes to school and spilling that mess over to the good kids. My granddaughter came home and told us that a white boy, a white little boy, called her a ninja. Now listen, y'all know, we know that it's so-called, this ain't even a true statement, but I'm going to go ahead on and repeat it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Bull crap when a monkey taps. Yes, they do. Words do hurt. And my granddaughter was hurt. But let me tell you something, baby. I talked to her till I was blue in the face. You hear me? I said, you know you ain't no ninja, right? You know whoever mouth that came out of, that's what they are. You understand that, right? You know that that's a word that was made up to keep black folk in their place, to demean black folk, to make black folk feel bad. And that was a word made up by the white man. You understand that, don't you? Made it very clear to her. See, because we talk to our children. That's what you do when your children bring a problem home that they're dealing with. But instead, y'all children bringing home pink slips. Y'all children bringing home slips telling them that they done got put out. Y'all children bringing home F's and D's. Huh? And it ain't because they stupid. It's because you stupid. It's because you don't raise your and take care of your household. I can imagine what some of these children living in. I can imagine what some of these children dealing with. I can imagine. I can only imagine. But what I will tell you is this. You need to leave your children at home, baby, and homeschool them. See, because some folk do want something out of life. Some folk do want to do well in life. Some folk do want to start businesses. Some folk do want to go to college. It's not your kids. It's not your kids, see, because they want to fight. They want to fuss. They want to cuss. And they want to bully. See, that's what your kids want to do. And they want to do that not because they mad at the people or don't like the people that they fussing and cussing and bullying at and the teachers and all of that. They doing that because they mad at you. That's their anger towards you because you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing. And now we got to deal with it. The teachers got to deal with it. The principals got to deal with it. See, I try to talk to y'all calmly. I try to talk to y'all with a love and talk to you like this and talk to you like I try. See, but y'all makes me mad with this foolishness that y'all out here doing or not doing. Raise your kids. Teach your children right from wrong. Teach them how to treat others. Now, I know you ain't gonna listen to me. I already know. This polar video in vain. I already know it's in vain, but I don't care. I'm still going to put it out there because I'm sick and tired of y'all sending your badass kids to school and they spilling over on my grandchildren. And I didn't say my grandchildren were perfect. I was the first one to tell you, you ain't going to never hear me say, not my kids. You ain't going to never hear me say that. But what I know is what I did. And what I know is what my children and I hope they're doing. But you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You need some help, baby. You need, see, because some of y'all at home beating the hell out these kids. Some of y'all at home calling these kids all kinds of names. Some of y'all at home doing anything you think you're big and bad enough in front of these kids. Some of y'all at home talking in front of these kids, talking about racism, being racist in front of these kids. Some of y'all at home trying to groom these children into fighting, into doing what they do. And then you get behind closed doors and holler about, did you win? Did you beat them? Did you win the fight? That's my dog and pounding them. Want to be your children's friends. Instead of wanting your children to be something decent in this world and to give something back in this world. But they angry. They mad at you. Because you are not doing what you need to do and should do as a parent. How dare you? How dare you taint the society that we live in, already a society that's already rotten, and you bringing and tainting it more? How dare you? How dare you think you cute? How dare you think you're funny? And how dare you, parent, do that to your children? You ought to be ashamed. And I hope the law gets you. Huh? Because some of y'all not right. Some of y'all got those children angry, and they angry for a reason. Now, I get that. I get that. I get it ain't their fault. I get that. It's your fault. It's your fault. And whatever happens to them and by them is on your back. Now, I get that. But how dare you? Teach your children. Raise your children. Tell your children you love them every day. Let them know that they matter. Let them know that a C is ordinary and don't bring no C's in your house. Do emergency cell phone checks because I know you don't do the book bags no more. Huh? Make sure they don't get put out of school. Make sure they treat their fellow students with respect, kindness, dignity. I ain't say perfection. Do that. Now, I hope I've said enough. Y'all can get back in line and act accordingly. Have an amazing day.